Maurice. I don't even know which cat I have. Hold on one moment. He's gonna come join us and say hello because he's in the, no, he says no. Just say hi, Bubba. He's in the mood to just, he jumped up on my bookshelf and I could tell he was in the mood to just knock stuff off. Does anybody else have a cat like that? They want your attention and they're like, I'm just gonna fuck shit up until I get it. But we'll see how this goes. Hopefully they don't interrupt us too much. I say they. I shouldn't blame Marcel. Drag him into it like that. He's downstairs minding his own business. This is the Maurice job only. Just clearing our space here. We're just in some really strange energies. I just saw 4-4, a power number here. Stepping into our power, our embodiment. Many of us are releasing much. Probably even releasing things that served us at one point. Maybe identities that we picked up. Like I said, that served us. Maybe spiritual identities or behaviors, habits, when we first began our awakening journey. And I just saw 111, all the number synchronicities. There were things we maybe did that are no longer serving us now, and we're being shown the things, seeing the things, this transition phase, embracing the in-between. I just recorded about a 25-minute message for our Patreon community, our private soul tribe. And the resounding theme in there was surrender. Surrender to the great mystery, embracing the in-between. But yes, I started that message saying your life maybe feels like you're wearing an outfit you have outgrown. I just saw 144, but in relation to your life. And that's a weird phase to be in here. So give yourself grace and space if you're feeling that. Don't beat yourself up. In fact, no, that's exactly what you should be feeling. I'm going to get a little animal message for us here. See what I can tell the beautiful YouTube collective tuned in, tapped on. So if there's something you're wanting to know, you could ask a question, you could drop that question, you could say it out loud to yourself, you could make the intention known energetically, whatever feels right for you. And if you want to dive a little deeper, if you want a personal reading, some personal guidance, know I offer that as well. If you're just tuning in, you could say hello, you could let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know how you're feeling in these energies. Maybe you have a message of hope, inspiration for another here. Oh, I love this little message here for us. Sing your own song, overcome any obstacle, and life is speeding up. Hi, hello, hello. Yeah, embracing our power, stepping into our sovereignty, right? Embodiment, trusting those nudges we are receiving, being willing to let our freak flag fly, knowing you aren't supposed to be like anyone else. This came through in Patreon as well. I won't share too much just because I don't want to constantly repeat myself and then I forget. Where did I share that message? But shit, no, so where was I going with this? Outgrowing our old life, right? It feeling like an outfit that no longer fits. We have the power to overcome. It'll come back to me if it's necessary. We have the power to overcome any obstacle. That's stepping into our emperor, empress, embodied. The victor versus the victim mindset. Self-accountability, self-responsibility, self-trust, self-understanding. What am I looking for? Self-confidence. I feel like I'm missing one. Self-love, of course, but self-love encompasses or entails all of these. The more you show self-trust, the more you show yourself you can trust yourself, the easier it is to step forward here and overcome any obstacle. We overcome one obstacle and we see we can do it, and then we're more determined to step forward into the next, right? It like builds your resilience, your momentum. Life is speeding up. We know that, we trust that, we see these, we feel these energies, right? We see things shifting, we sense things shifting before they even do. Let's get a little tarot story and then maybe we'll tap in with the archetype deck. That's been popping out more often recently. I hadn't used it in quite some time, so let's just see if there's anything we should know here from the tarot deck. What can I tell the beautiful collective tuned in here, Spirit? That came through on Patreon as well. Justice, balancing of the scales. There's our quick energy again, the Chariot, fast-moving energy here. Knight of Swords. And so we are being intentional. That's that rhino energy, right? Overcoming any obstacle. Knowing our energy is our currency, our abundance. And so we are directing it at things we want to see expand, see more of, right? And we are pulling our energy from things that we no longer want to see, no longer want to contribute to. And you may have new awarenesses about yourself, things that used to fit, like I said, just no longer fit. Trust that. We aren't who we used to be. The unbecoming in order to become, the unraveling, right? In order to release all of those masks, all of those versions of ourselves that isn't who we truly were. It was maybe just for survival, to keep ourselves safe, in order to go along with the crowd. For so long, it was those of us that followed our own path, followed our soul. You know, you maybe were ridiculed, ostracized, not just in this lifetime, but in many lifetimes. But this is the lifetime we are here to heal that. And as you heal the things, you heal for seven generations back, 7 generations forward, the interconnectedness, right? Nothing is done in the silence. Nothing is done in the dark. Even your thoughts are not private, because they're, the energetic, the field of possibilities is always listening. We are always tuned in. It's just a matter of what we are tuned into. Walking by faith, this understanding, and also patience, right? Anything else? Again, with the 8 of Wands, right? This fast-moving energy here. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. Know that you're healing. Know your kind words. I'm going to grab my book here. I shared this in Patreon, but I just ordered some new books. I get all my used books on Walmart here, but the rabbit effect here. Live longer, happier, and healthier with the groundbreaking science of kindness. And your kind comment made me think of that. But also, I'm going to read this one, A Whole New Mind. Why right brainers will rule the future. The ability to feel, right, is our superpower. It's not a weakness, as we once believed, we're taught, right? It's actually our greatest superpower. When we begin to feel the things, we recognize, understand what is in alignment and what isn't, right? What's actually stemming from us, and what's actually the ways we're behaving just because the outside told us to do so. And then we can let go of things that aren't in congruence with who we say we are, who we want to be, where we are going, and then the creation of health here. I'm excited for this one. Ooh, this has Carolyn Miss. I read a couple by her. And Norman Shealy, The Power of Positive Thinking. That book changed my life as well. So maybe that would be beneficial for you. Also, The Power of Positive Thinking reminded me of this 7 of Pentacles in the tarot. It's that walking by faith. Faith as small as a mustard seed. I'm going to get the quote wrong, but all it takes is a small amount of faith. Oh yeah, we were going to get an archetype deck. And your belief. Your belief fuels all things. Whether you believe you can, whether you believe you can't, you're right either way. Seems super simple, super cliche. And it is super simple. It's just not always easy to shift, you know, to be intentional, to focus, to pay attention to what you're thinking. It's almost a full-time job, because so much, what is it, like 98% of our thoughts are in our subconscious, meaning they just happen naturally. We don't even think to think them. We don't have to work at thinking them. So when you try and switch those subconscious beliefs, it requires much effort in the beginning. But it does get easier. Think, you know, with anything, like I'm thinking when you're pumping a well, not that I ever had to pump a well, but I've read much about it. And in the beginning, I heard it takes a lot of effort, right? And then once things start to flow, it takes less effort to accomplish the same thing, or to accomplish even more. It reminds me, I'm also reading this Power versus Force. And it talks about how just one minuscule, one small change in the moment, right? It may not seem super significant, but think of like a ship. That 1 degree off, as you continue on your path, you're going to get further and further, right? The compound effect. Let's see. What archetype message can I share with the beautiful collective here? I'll probably read a bit from the book. And then be on my merry way. I might go on TikTok, go live here in a bit and do a few readings. If that interests you, you could follow me on TikTok. I usually do some personal readings on there. You can Cashapp me, you can Venmo me, PayPal, Facebook Pay. I have all the things. And as always, if you're wanting some personal guidance, you want to work with me one-on-one, if you would like access to the course I created, and stay tuned, more creations to come. I've been busy behind the scenes. I did share a bit about my new creations in Patreon. But keep things that you're working on, that you're creating, in silence until they're exposed and visible in the physical. It just keeps them safe, allows you to protect them from outside energy interference here. The Maiden. Interesting. I'm going to read a bit from this one. Page 77. My lucky number here. I don't have Telegram. Shoot, I wish I did. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. So I have Facebook Pay, PayPal, Cashapp, Venmo, or I can also, if you send me your phone number, I can text you a link. You can enter a credit card or a debit card that way. The Maiden is innocent. The Maiden archetype is the epitome of innocence and precarious purity. She is compelling and addictive because of her flawless and youthful glow. She's the first archetype in the trifecta of Maiden, Mother, and Crone. And rightfully so, because she has so much to learn. I love that. Yeah, we're just beginning again. We're just starting this whole new leg, this whole new journey, this whole new 29-year karmic cycle, right? But beginning again. We're getting the opportunity to shed our old life as we would in the death phase when we leave this physical form, but we're getting the opportunity to die before we die if we so make that choice and are willing to do so. Once you've done enough shadow work, done enough of the internal work, you can find joy even in the grieving. An astrologer, a woman I follow, I love. I was watching her video yesterday, and yeah, she just lost her father like a month ago, and so she can really speak to the death process being healing as well. And I mean, so can I. I lost several people close to me last year, but whatever. Regardless, there's beauty in every moment, and our tears are just as sacred as our joy. Without our pain and our suffering, we wouldn't even be able to feel joy or appreciate joy. So the Maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way and subject her to a challenge that leads to the next phase of womanhood. Yeah, the growth on the other side of the challenges, right? She must grow up, yet hesitates at the threshold, enamored by the charms of youth. The Maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forests, dark nights, and taking just one taste of poisonous fruit. Her magic is edgy and includes both shame and delight. Let yourself fall down the rabbit hole, young one. The rabbit effect, the rabbit hole. Rabbit may be significant for us. Curious, enchanting, full of vitality. Do you long to be rescued by another? Be wary of waiting for a prince. Break the spell of your own life. Yeah, that inner authority, right? We aren't waiting on someone to come and save us. We have the opportunity to die in this life if we so choose to, and begin again, create again. Clean slate energy. All of these planets at 0 and 1 degrees in Aries, and more to come. We have Jupiter moving into Cancer, like next week, June 9th. And then July on 7/7, number 7/7 here. We have Gemini moving into Uranus, and much more to come throughout this year. Just many of the planets changing signs, and the planetary aspects all point to an aspect within the self, right? Like that's why astrology is so relevant, so helpful. It gives us a blueprint, an understanding of why things are playing out, right? It's not to give away control. It's 50% astrology and 50% us, right? How do we participate in it? We have to be a willing, cooperative participant. Things don't just happen to us. They happen through us and for us if we so allow. But yes, I'm off on a tangent. I could ramble forever. I'm going to get an affirmation for us here. and then be done for real. I haven't even finished my first cup of coffee this morning. Oh, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you. So very grateful for you. Thank you for the kind comments. Thank you for being here. And don't let others who believe they know the way, who believe that there's only one that can say it. There is no one way. We are our own savior. Christ consciousness, all stepping into our own power. That is the return of Christ, the return of Christ consciousness. Those that are trying to shove one way to salvation down your throat have missed the whole point. They just don't understand. Like, it's not even that it's wrong information. It's just that it's incomplete information. They just don't understand it at a higher level. But we don't. It's not our job to teach another. They'll figure it out. They'll discover it themselves, this inner discovery, or they won't. Right? Maybe it's not the lifetime for them to do so. I know when my body needs to rest. Listening, right? Tuning into those internal cues and clues. I am evolving as a soul when I am aware of my soul's journey. And if we think we're just this human, we're going to continue to loop and repeat in karmic cycles. If we continue to wait on an external savior, we're going to sit in our pity party, our victim story, and wonder why nothing is changing for us. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you want to start your wellness journey, let me know. Reach out. You could join the app, the platform I use. And yeah, like I said, if you want to work with me one-on-one, and if you would like a personal reading, I'm sending so much love. Wishing you a beautiful weekend. Take the time to go within. We have a Kazemi tomorrow. Is it Mercury? I'm going to have to Google that, astrology, but you could Google it as well if that interests you. Just know that there are many things taking place that we can't see. Trust what you are feeling. And blinders on to the naysayers, people in the peanut gallery that think they know you and your life better than you. They do not. Trust yourself. Until next time.